Welcome to my reflection for Wednesday, the 22nd of March. It's Bob again, and I'm looking at connections over this last weekend from past and present that affected Esther and I. Firstly, on Friday afternoon, we went to the last showing of the Dundee Tapestry in the V&A Museum. Esther was fascinated by the 9 woven panels from 100 stitchers showing different people, industries, products and traditions of the city from 1850 to the present day. The full exhibition of 35 finished tapestries will be well worth seeing in 2024. I studied the adjoining exhibits and film marking the success and eventual closure of the Valentine's Card Factory in the city from 1851 till 1994, producing 100 million greetings cards a year in its heyday. That Friday evening, the city of Dundee was heaving with revellers. Esther and I, we'd forgotten that Friday the 17th was St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick was a 5th century Christian missionary and bishop in Ireland, credited with bringing Christianity to the country, converting a pagan society. St. Patrick's Day, or the Feast of St. Patrick, is a religious and cultural holiday held on the traditional date of his death. Celebrations involve attending parades and ceilidhs, wearing green hats and clothes and shamrocks, drinking Irish beer, Irish whiskey and any other drink to hand. We found it very difficult to find a place to eat. What with seats full, shouting, loud music, enthusiasm, the enjoyment and the streets, there were a sea of green. Eventually we found a Greg's restaurant. Even that was busy. We had our food and left. But not before we thought of the excess drink and food consumed at the weekend, and yet the misery, the hunger and the poverty on display on the pavements of the city. People begging for money and asking for food handouts in takeaway shops. The next day, Saturday, disappointment for Scotland in the Rugby Six Nations Championship. The Irish were jubilant in winning the Grand Slam that they last won in 2018. This makes the 4th time it's happened, and what a boost for the St. Patrick weekend. We bussed it out to the Gardyne Theatre for an evening with Professor David Wilson, one of the leading criminologists in the country, with a presentation and then questions and answer session covering such topics as evil in society. Is it in our genetic makeup or in our upbringing? And the reassuring comment from him that there are far more good, empathetic, kind people in this country than criminals. And yet, he'd a stern warning that there's a continuing threat to the homeless and street people from those with evil intent. People go missing and nobody notices. At this midpoint through Lent, let's think of others and thank the Lord for our good fortune. Blessings to you all and have a good week.